Welcome to Cory's Stories. Are you ready to meditate with Cory?
Hi friend, don't forget to subscribe, say that you like the video, and also press the bell so that you get notifications every time I make a new video. If you love Heidi, Cherry and VAYA or Tucker and Leo stories, you can now get exclusive stories on my Patreon account. Go to the links below the video and you can join Heidi, Cherry and VAYA Club or the Tucker and Leo Club and get exclusive stories with your names in them. I love you all so much. Enjoy the story. Bye, friend.
Are you ready to meditate with Cory? Make sure that you're in your bed and you're comfortable so that you can relax your body. Try and close your eyes as you listen to the story. And you can use your inner sight to visualize and imagine. This will help you to develop your third eye skills using your inner sight. Corriannda knew that she needed to ground. What she meant by that was she needed to connect to the earth. She was feeling agitated. She was feeling uncomfortable in her body. She found that she was easily distracted and confused and couldn't focus. And she had a headache. These were all signs for Corriannda that she needed to do some earthing. She needed to take off her shoes, go for a walk on the grass or be in nature. She needed to connect to Mama Earth so that she could feel grounded and strong and balanced and all secure and safe in her body. She was walking towards her favorite tree in the woods. The forest that was her favorite place to go wasn't too far away from her house. It was a nice warm day, so she was already walking barefoot on the cement, on the pavement. The streets were clean, and the sidewalk was quite smooth underneath her feet, so she was just carrying her flip-flops. The sidewalk felt warm because of the sun. And she already, even though it had only been a minute, started to notice that she could take deep breaths and feel better. When she got to the forest, there was a path through the forest that was just dirt. So she kept her shoes off and started to walk on the warm, moist soil. She could instantly feel tingles and sensations running through her body, and the soil felt really good underneath her toes, and parts of it was squishing through them. She was breathing big, deep breaths in through her nose. She could smell the soil, the trees, the fresh, crisp air all around her. It didn't feel like she was smelling in gas fumes or pollution or petrol, anything like it felt when she was walking through the city. Even though she loved to sometimes go to the city and feel the hustle and bustle and all the busyness and all the people, and the cars and the buildings and the different smells. But what she was doing right now was rejuvenating. It felt like medicine. And the fact that the forest smelled so clean and fresh, it was a different kind of air. She felt like when she breathed in, it was cleaning out her body and bringing in all the nutrients that the trees breathe in and out, and the plants breathe in and out. Like she was turning into a tree as she walked further and further into the woods, further and further towards her tree. She could hear the birds singing, different noises, but other than that, it was very, very silent, calm, so quiet. When she got to the tree that she loved, she stood and stared at it for a moment. She looked up. It was so tall. It was a big, tall oak tree, and part of the tree's trunk was carved out, as if over time something a long time ago had hit it, or it just grew funny. Whatever the reason, it was like a little cave inside of the trunk. The ground of the cave was dry. The soil was warm from the sun. And she climbed inside and sat down, crisscross applesauce. The first thing that she did was reach down and rub her hands on the soil and lift it up and let it fall through her fingers, like you do when you're on the beach. And the sand is so nice to pick up and watch as it falls in piles. She was doing that with the soil. She could feel little twigs and bits of dried leaves. She closed her eyes as if she was reading what she could feel on her fingers. Closing her eyes helped her to feel the texture, the sensation. It helped her to tune into her other senses. She noticed when she closed her eyes that she could really smell the bark of the tree. It smelled woody and earthy and grounding. She took the biggest deep breath, as if she was trying to breathe all of the smells into her body, consuming them, eating them like it was lunchtime. All the tiny little hairs on the back of her neck and the top of her spine stood up on end, like she was being plugged into the wall, and the electricity from the earth and the magnetism had started to run through the base of her spine. Her legs started to tingle, and if she felt into it, it felt like a buzzing sensation, like a low vibration of electricity, a very faint tingling sensation seemed to run from the base of her spine all the way to the top of her head. And then when it got to the top of her head, it felt like it burst out like fireworks into the space all around her. She straightened her spine and thought about the magic of just sitting down in nature and what happens to your body. how magical it was, and how so many people don't think about doing it. Corriannda thought that maybe this was the most witchy thing she did. Grounding, being in nature, recharging her batteries with the magical energy of electricity and magnetism that comes from the earth. Recharging her battery so that she could feel strong and energized, so that she could focus and think, so that she could pay attention and be very aware. All of the things, the skills that she needed to be a witch. She needed to be aware. She needed to notice all the little signs. She needed to pay attention to the elements, to the earth, to the energies. And she couldn't do any of that when she was ungrounded. She was just so scattered and confused and disconnected that her witch skills, her witch powers, were really weak when she was ungrounded. Mother Earth was the energy that she needed. Like when you're hungry and you feel faint and you have like a protein bar to feed your body. Or when you've been working out a lot and you have a workout drink. This is exactly the same, she thought. Probably even more magical and important. She sat really still and focused on the sensation at the base of her spine. She imagined at one point that she was growing big, strong roots just like the tree that was surrounding her. And the roots that were coming out of her legs and the base of her spine were growing deeper and deeper into the earth. And they were twisting and mixing with the roots of the tree. And when her roots found the tree roots, they met and hugged and twisted together as if they were entangling themselves around each other to take the journey into the middle of the earth, pushing through the rocks, the soil, the clay, going deeper and deeper through the coal, deeper and deeper through all the mineral layers, until her roots and the tree's roots got to the center of the earth. There was a strong, bright light there. The brightest light she'd ever seen and felt. And her whole body tingled, as if she was being charged with something different, something stronger, more powerful than what she felt on the surface of the earth. It was like her hair was standing up. The hair on her arms, her legs, her head was all tingling with the energy that she was receiving from the core of the earth, from the bright light that fed her body. And when she was there, it felt like she was communicating with all the trees in the forest, all the rocks, all the animals, all the people, all the fish, all the stars, all the planets. Like the light was connected to everything else in the entire universe. And she was joining it for a moment, plugged in to that energy. She felt her muscles filling and feeling stronger. She felt her bones get harder. She felt her skin tingling. Her brain was being rewired. Corriannda grounded with the tree in the middle of the earth for about 10 minutes. All she had to do was just sit there on the ground, close her eyes, and let Mother Earth feed her body. When she felt like it was time, she stood up. She wrapped her arms around her favorite tree, gave it the biggest hug and said thank you. She felt amazing. She felt like Corriannda once again, ready for whatever comes her way. She walked back through the forest barefoot. She walked back on the sidewalk, barefoot. And when she got home, she was ready to go to work. She decided to make a potion full of all the good herbs, all the good things that she needed, so that the next time she went to a tree, she would pour it at the base of the tree, giving thanks, feeding the tree just like the tree fed her, feeding Mama Earth just like Mama Earth fed her. Like a circle. Never ending. The end.